Hey everybody, welcome to another video with Matt. Today we have this 2005 Dodge Dakota. This is the 3.7 V6 model right here, guys. Today I'm going to show you how to change out those coil packs. Alright guys, in order to do this, you're going to need to make sure that you have a socket wrench with a 10mm socket. You may or may not need some extensions. I like to use them just for ease of mind to know I can get down in certain spots. Then I got a Torx driver right here that we will use with a T30 star bit, just like that right there, for taking one of the AC lines brackets out of the way so we can get to one of the cylinders. And then of course we have right here our brand new coil packs. These are Master Pros, part number 250065. So make sure you have all of that stuff, then we can get started. Alright, so now you need to open your driver's side door, take your hood latch, and go ahead and pop it now. Then we will need to take the latch on the hood, pop it right here, just like that, push down, grab your hand here, lift your hood up. Alright, so now we are looking inside of the hood, guys, and if you have a stock air box, then yours obviously will look different from mine, but mine's an aftermarket air intake right here, guys. So if you got the stock air box that comes from here over, just go ahead and unsnap it from your filter here, and you'll have to remove the rings around your throttle body in the back here, and then pull that out of your way, and that will expose the top of the engine. But in my case, I have an aftermarket one, so all I've got to do is loosen it one band right here at the throttle body, and then I can pull this entire piece out of the way. Alright, so with your air box or air intake removed, you can now see your coil packs are exposed. Here is one right here. There's one here, and same thing on the other side, guys. Now on the right side of this engine, the three over here are pretty easy to get to, right? It's just stick your wrench and socket down there and take this 10mm nut right off, unplug your connection right here, and then you just simply pull it up, right? Well, that's real easy, but I'm going to show you the harder ones right here, guys, for the video. Over here on this side, you'll notice that it's right under this AC line. Here's the coil pack right here, right? So that's why we need that star bit, because we're going to loosen up this bracket that's on this line right here. We'll take that star bit out, and that'll let us push this just enough out of the way for us to get our socket down to this 10mm nut right there, and then loosen that up and be able to pull it straight up out of there, guys. Same thing with the one in the middle right here. This one right here is not that hard to get to, but the one in the very back, it can be a pain in the butt also. So I'm going to demonstrate doing one of these, because it will be the same for all 6 or 8 if you have the V8 model, guys. So let's go ahead and get this coil pack right here off now. Alright, once you get that AC line bracket moved out of the way, make sure you put your bolt somewhere where you won't lose it. And then next thing I want you to do is to disconnect the negative terminal of your battery. Alright, so the next thing that you need to do, guys, is take your sensor loose from your coil pack, right? So what you need to do is just press down on the clip, just like it says on the thing, and you'll simply just wiggle that off, and be very careful. It's plastic, they can be brittle, don't want to break it. Just push that tablet down, just like that, give it a little wiggle, and it'll pop off just like that right there, guys. So now we can loosen up our 10mm bolt. I like to go about halfway up the stem, not all the way, and then hand loosen it the rest of the way. That way I can keep a good grip on it so it doesn't fall down into the engine, guys. So then we just need to stick that over to the side where we won't lose it. And now you can see, you just give it a little wiggle, there is the old coil pack right there, guys. It comes right up like that, and the install is going to be the same exact way. We are going to put it in. It lines up with the little hole right here on the track. We will bolt that back down and then hook the plug right back up to it. So let's go ahead and get our new one in. Alright, so here is our brand new one. Like I said, guys, it's hard to mess this up. You just want to come over, stick it right there in the hole, make sure you line it up with the stem, and then you just want to simply push it down, and you will feel it when it's nice and firm on there. And at that point, you can go ahead and stick your connector right back on there till it clicks, just like that. Same way when I go to put the nut back on, guys, is I don't want to wind up losing it, right? So what I'm going to do is start it off by hand first. Make sure it's on there. Just go ahead and spin it on down. Then we can tighten that up. And do not over tighten it. You can break your stem. You just want it to be just a little tight, because it's not really plugging it into your thing. It does that when you push it down. You'll feel the seal on it, right? This basically just holds it in place for moving around and stuff. So once you feel that it's just a little bit tight, then that one is good to go, and then you can move on to your other ones. Alright, so for this one in the front, you'll see why we took the star bit loose right there, guys. It's so that we can barely just bump it over. You're not going to try to bend your lines or break anything. Just barely bumping it over to get your socket extension on there, right? Then you want to go ahead and loosen that nut up right there, just a little bit. We'll take it off the rest of the way by hand like we did the other one. And then when you go ahead and get our plug loose on the port right here, and then we'll be ready to pull that one up. Alright, so that nut is off. Just gonna stick that to the side and just barely pull this out of the way right here, and your hose at the same time right here, so it's got some clearance. And you just want to make sure you can grab it and pop it up. Give it a little jiggle if you have to. Alright, so we got that old one out of the way. We'll just take our new one right here and do the exact same thing. Just want to kind of turn it just a little sideways, the way you kind of went down in there like that. Get it around the hole and turned. Alright, so once you get it lined up, then you just put your thumb on the top of it like that and just push it down. You will feel it seal. You'll know what I'm talking about when you push it down. Then at this point you can go ahead and plug your connector right back up. Make sure you hear it click. Just like that. We take our nut, go ahead and get it started by hand. Put it all the way down. Like I said, this is the hardest one of all of them to do. The other ones are pretty easy compared to this one especially. And now we got that down. Now we can just tighten that nut up carefully. Alright, then we can put our star bit back in place on our bracket. Go ahead and tighten that back up. Alright, and that is how you do the coil packs, guys. So now you need to go back and just make sure that you put your star bit back on your bracket right there when you go to do this front one right here, and on the other ones just make sure you don't lose any of your nuts, and plug everything back up. Then you can start putting your air box and everything back on. And then last but not least, don't forget to plug back up your battery, hook it back up to the negative terminal, and then start your vehicle and test it out. Alright guys, we started up the vehicle right here and it's running nice, and as you can see inside, the check engine light did go away, guys. So I hope that helped someone out there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button down below for me and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful week. Peace.